So joining me for another bite-sized Science Week conversation is ACES Research Fellow Dr. Cristina Pozo-Gonzalo from our Deakin node. How you going, Cristina?
Hello, hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And you guys are in lockdown. I've spoken to a few people from Melbourne thus far. Up in New South Wales, we've got a bit more freedom to move around. How's it treating you?
Well, I think we are getting used to, if that's even possible, but yeah, trying to get a bit of, going outside when we have time and, still you can walk for 1 hour, so we can do that, yeah, definitely.
So as this is Science Week, I want to focus on your area of research. Could you tell the listeners what that area is?
Okay, so I'm involved in different projects at the moment. So I guess my core area of expertise, because it's applied electrochemistry, so I can apply to many different projects. So I started working at ACES. One of my main area of research has been metal air batteries. So that's a very interesting technology because it has potential for substituting lithium-ion batteries. But also, what I like a lot about this technology is that it uses oxygen as an active material, and oxygen is everywhere. So that's what it attracted me to this technology. So that's one of my area of research. And when I started taking leadership from maybe 1 year and a half now, it's about recovering waste materials from lithium-ion batteries or from other type of energy storage technologies, and to reuse it again. It can be again into lithium-ion batteries, or it can be to other applications. And that's, in principle, is very important for two main reasons. One of them is because probably everybody knows some of these materials, they are very scarce, so we need to look or find other alternatives to be able to use this, keep on going and using these materials without focusing on mining. And the other is that if we don't recover and we don't recycle these technologies, what is happening is that these materials sometimes they leach into the soil and contaminate the soil. So that's the two main reasons why this technology or with this research is so important.
So what attracted you to have a career in science, and why?
I think the main thing is about curiosity, and I think it's about understanding certain phenomena, like why things behave in a specific way and how we can control it so it behaves the way that we want it, and to get the most of that or technology or process or materials. So I think that was the main thing.
So science is obviously very broad, and you mentioned at the start of this interview that your area of research. How did you get involved in that specific area?
So that was when I moved to Australia, and I started working in Deakin University in the group of Maria's Forsyth. So she's a very strong researcher in energy storage, especially on electrolytes, materials, and so on. So that was related to that. So, and then my position in the ACES project.
So how about your favorite part of being a scientist? What would that be?
I think for me it's about when I start putting all the information together and I start getting answers. So that's what I said at the beginning. So it is we want to explain or understand certain chemical or physical phenomena, and then you start gathering evidence. So by different type of experiments or analysis, and then finally you put everything together and it makes sense. So you are able to explain what is happening. So I think that's my favorite part. And then obviously writing about it, and then able to communicate this to the research community. So I think that, yeah.
So as this is Science Week, I'm wondering if you can offer any advice to future scientists out there.
So I think the first and the most important thing is that to do research on something that interests you, that it generates passion and you are passionate about it. So that's because it does. If you have that, there are no obstacles. So I think it is a tough career, don't get me wrong, but as I say, if you like what you are doing, you don't get enough of what you are doing. So I think it's to be passionate, and everybody has some passion, so just try to find that.
Well, thanks for joining me for this bite-sized Science Week conversation. All the best in lockdown down in Melbourne, and hopefully you can get through it as swiftly as possible and back to normal life.
4 more weeks, 4 more weeks.
4 more and counting.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Cristina.
Bye.